Hi everybody. Gonna give myself a second here to kind of get everything situated and maybe see if there happens to be another soul or two or anyone out there who tunes in live with me at this time. It was kind of impromptu. Haven't really made my voice too public in the last couple of years or so. I'm re-emerging, and it's just time. It's time for me to start using my voice and sharing some of my experiences, wisdom, and insight that I have gained over the last, few years. Actually, a lot of what I want to share with all of you in the coming days and moving forward, it's not necessarily new. It's not like new information or new insights, that I have to share with you. These are concepts and insights that I've been learning and harnessing for myself over, the last handful of years. So tonight, I just want to give you a little bit of background about who I am, where I'm coming from, a couple of little nuggets that hopefully you can grab onto, and then let you know kind of what to expect from me and this voice moving forward. And I don't want these lives to necessarily be too lengthy. I'm hoping to maybe, just hop on for like 15, 20 minutes, something like that. But we'll see. We'll see how it evolves, and, depending on what we're talking about and what the dialogue is with some of you that are on live with me, that may change. So initially I've been brewing this idea of doing something called Tune In Tuesdays, where maybe I would hop on every Tuesday, Facebook Live for a few minutes and, talk about another aspect of what I refer to as the soul of the Great Awakening. But then I started feeling like I didn't want to box myself into just Tuesdays, right? I wanted to be available to come on with all of you whenever, kind of like the spirit moved me, or I felt like I had something to share, no matter what day or time of day that it is. But the reason why I'm calling it Tune In is not so that you tune in with me, but so that I can help guide you and encourage you to start tuning in, going inward, making that connection with your inner guidance and living from that sacred space. So over the last few years, I have sort of adopted the title, loose title, as the Soul Awakener. And what does that really mean? My greatest passion, like in my adult life, has really been to understand the soul, connect to my own soul, live by the soul. What really is that? How do you experience that? And that has been my greatest passion in life. And no matter what kind of work I've been doing, it's still like my most passionate topic to talk about and to engage in. And I felt a few years ago that was kind of my role in humanity at this time. And we all have a role and a purpose for why we are here at this time. But it's all about learning to live from the inside out and connect with the soul. And a root of most things that are kind of happening or have happened, going on like in the world that we live in, is really due to what you might consider soul loss. And that is a collective, and as human beings on this planet, we've kind of lost touch with what is the soul? How do you connect with the soul? How do you live from that space? We all hear a lot about, and there's a lot of content out there about the Great Awakening, right? That we are all part of. But what came to me a few years ago was, well, what about the soul of the Great Awakening? Because waking to the soul is the most important aspect of this Great Awakening. And that's what a lot of this content moving forward is going to revolve around. And there's so many different things and threads that we can follow, like with that concept, the soul of the Great Awakening. And this content is for absolutely everyone on the planet. Okay, this isn't some kind of spiritual idea or philosophy or religion or one like really family of concepts. Okay, each and every person on the planet, each and every person who is part of our humanitarian human family, we all have a soul. We all have soul. So this applies to everyone. And I just want to really make that clear that we're not necessarily going to go to any specific like philosophies. We'll probably be marrying a lot of different truths from a lot of different philosophies, right? Because they, a lot of them kind of merge into one. So why is it important and why is it now? Well, the chaos and the confusion on the planet has been heating up. Okay, it's not necessarily new. It started heating up like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. A lot of the instability on the planet, a lot of shifting, a lot of turmoil, a lot of chaos. Well, we've hit a new plateau with that, right? We are in an escalated kind of being of world chaos and disorder. And the first thing that I really want, the first nugget that I want to plant with all of you tonight is that the chaos and confusion that we are experiencing in the outer world right now is nothing more than a symptom of our old systems and structures, our old ways of being, our old ways of doing things. They are being challenged, they're collapsing, and they're breaking down. These old systems, these old structures, these old ways that we've been living and existing on this planet, they are dying. Why? Because they no longer serve us. They no longer serve where we are in the evolution of our humanity on a consciousness level. They no longer support our divine design. And that is the essence that we've lost. Like, who are we as a divine sovereign being? We've been maybe intentionally, but collectively, like as humanity, we kind of signed up to have this experience, but we've lost that. We've lost our connection to the embodiment of divinity. We are divine beings and we are sovereign beings. And what does it look like to really live that? That is what, this Great Awakening, the soul of the Great Awakening is really all about. So as far as the collective chaos that we're all experiencing now, that we have experienced in the past, that we are going to experience more of, because it's going to continue to escalate. It's going to continue to culminate. Try not to get too attached to what you think is happening. In fact, I encourage everyone to turn it all off, to stop watching it, to stop listening to it. And I don't mean not to be aware of it, okay? We can be aware of it and kind of know and see what's going on, but try to stay a little more neutral. Try not to get too personally triggered. Try to take a step back and just be the observer and knowing that we are going through, honestly, what has been referred to as the most significant change and shift and transformation that humanity as a whole has ever collected, okay? Think about that. It's the biggest shift and transformation that humanity has ever gone through, ever. And because it's new and we've never done it before, well, it's new and we've never done it before. So these are new waters. but really try not to get attached to what we think we see happening on the stage, on the world stage. Let it kind of all play out, and please keep in the back of your minds that it's nothing more than old ways of being that no longer serve us and support us as who we truly are in our divine essence. A lot of these old systems, are based on divisive powers, okay? Division, like, we're done with it. We're done with being divided. It's time, to come together more in unity consciousness. And I'm going to talk about more of that, like, in the days to come. But we are being given an opportunity to create a new paradigm. And to create this new paradigm and to come forward in this new paradigm, it's the basics of that foundation is learning to shift from listening to the voices of the outer authorities and learn to listen to your own voice of your inner authority in a really soulful way, moment by moment, day by day, just listening from within and choosing for what feels right for yourself. When you're doing it in a soulful way and you're connecting with that true inner guidance, that embodiment of God essence, source energy, whatever it is that you use to define it, those choices, they not only serve your highest interest, but then ultimately they serve the highest interest of all, okay? So it sounds like a really easy concept. Okay, I'm just going to stop listening to the outer world and the influences of how it tells me what I should think and how I should feel and what I should believe and what action I should take. And I'm really just going to listen to my own inner knowing, my own inner guidance. I'm going to live by that truth. The concept in itself is really simple, but it's not easy work because we've never done it before. Like, collectively as a whole, we have never lived by that kind of rule or in that energy of simply listening and honoring your inner truth and taking that out into the world. And as we do that individually, we just honor and accept and allow everyone around us to do the same. That is how we ultimately are going to create like unity consciousness. So we're so used to looking to something outside of us, right? To tell us how to live, to tell us how to believe, what is right, what is wrong, to an influence to guide us. Like, we've been living for eons of time, okay? Not just like 10 years, 50 years, 100 years, but eons of time where we've been influenced by something outside of us. So this is a shift to harnessing our divine essence and solely living by that inner authority and that inner guidance. Again, it's a simple concept, but not always easy to do because we've never even done it. There's so many of us still on the planet who don't even really fully understand what is the soul. Well, how do I connect with the soul? Well, how do I live by the soul? And those are things that I'm hoping I can guide you through and give you like a deeper perspective and understanding of that. And the greatest way that we can inspire other people is by living your truth, right? The more that I come forward and I live my truth, not talking about it or like stating it, look at me, I'm living my truth, but just organically, the more that we come forward living our unique individual truths, the more we just kind of automatically inspire other people to do the same. And that's what we want, okay? We want a global community of heart-centered people, each harnessing and living their truths and allowing others to do the same. I'm not so sure that, there's a lot of different people who have interpretations of what is the new paradigm, what is the new earth, what's that going to look like. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a global community of everyone believing and feeling and acting in the exact same way. I think it's a global community of people minding their own business, living their truth, bringing their truth out into the world, and allowing and honoring others to do the same, no matter how diverse that might be. To me, that's what harmony is. It's not everyone believing and acting the exact same way, kind of, like a robotic society. It's just the acceptance of diversity and the allowing of it. And minding your own business, because that's where we've been for the past several years now. We should all be minding our own business because we have enough of it to mind. Getting clear with ourselves, doing our own inner healing, overcoming our own challenges, accepting and honoring the diversities within ourselves, and doing that inner work. Believe me, I've been on my own healing process for years now, and I thought I was in, a pretty good place. And about a year ago, boy, I crashed and I went through another really deep healing cycle. So we have enough of our own work to know thyself, to honor thyself, to heal thyself, that we really shouldn't be poking our nose into judging and thinking, what everyone else should be doing. We have enough of our own work. But anyway, I'm excited because I have so much that I want to share. I have so many notes. I've been studying the soul and having my own experiences and learning for several years now, for this time of creating, this new paradigm, this new reality that we have the opportunity to do. Because the greatest thing to understand is we create our outer reality based on our inner reality. We've been living under this false concept that the outer world influences our inner world, that the outer world influences who we are. And exactly what the laws of the universe would state opposite, and we'll talk more about that too. But it's actually our inner world, our inner connection with soul, with divinity, that is going to create the outer world and this new paradigm. No one is coming to do it for us. It may be dismantled for us, whether we like it or not. It may be collapsing. It may be dismantling. But anyone in those outside influences who might be part of the dismantling of the old, they're not going to create the new, okay? This new paradigm, it's not going to happen for us. It's not going to happen to us. It is only going to happen through us. We are the creators of the new paradigm. When we are aligned with soul, aligned with divinity, aligned with the power of who we are, when we're connected to that source energy, that God energy, we are immensely powerful. And this is something that we have forgotten, totally forgotten. This is the awakening, the Great Awakening. This is the soul of the Great Awakening, that harnessing, that remembrance of how powerful we are in our divine connection. And what we can create and what we can do together is really, truly unlimited. And remember, that creating the new, well, it's new, So again, things we haven't done before, concepts we haven't thought of before, and it's also going to require tremendous collaboration with one another, working together to create something new, a new way of being, of doing. Things, like I said, are really going to intensify, and that dismantling of the old is really coming more and more quickly. But we have a choice, like energetically, to do really one of two things. We are either going to fuel the fire by clinging to the old ways and crying about the old ways and blaming and getting into the chaos and the division, and we're going to fuel it. We're going to put more fuel on the fire and create more of the old chaos, or we're going to step back and step out and come over here and snuff out that fire by softly, gently, and humbling, putting our energy into what new can I create? What is the world that I want to live in? We're going to talk more about this too, but let me end by sharing with you something that I learned a few years ago that was so powerful. And that is our beliefs, our choices. We actually choose what we believe. Yeah, we have a lot of influence by the outer voices and the outer authorities and what we've been taught, all these years, and what's been passed down through us, from our families and blah, blah, blah. But we actually choose what we believe. So I'm going to leave you with this question tonight. What would you choose to believe if nothing outside of yourself was influencing you what to believe? What would you choose to believe about the world you live in? What would you choose to believe about other people, your neighbors, your community members, anyone? And what would you choose to believe about yourself? We choose what we believe. What world do you want to live in? What is the world you want to create? Start by focusing on what you want to choose to believe about that. And you'll be amazed at the energy that connects with other people doing the same thing and how that's going to harness and grow. And we will create a new paradigm from the inside out, okay? This is the soul of the Great Awakening. So I'm going to be using my personal Facebook page because I don't want to mess with like a business page or another profile page. Like I'm the Soul Awakener over here and I'm just Kristen Hendricks over here, because ultimately I'm all of that, okay? I'm all of that. So I'm just going to be using my personal Facebook page. I'm going to be using it more to come, to share that aspect of me that is the Soul Awakener. I'll be hopping on with Facebook Lives and trying to give you all a little more notice than just an hour or two. So I'll be giving notice for when I plan to do a Facebook Live. I might be just, recording a few little videos if I feel led to and sharing those. And I'll just be doing more writings and more posting, as well as the book that I'm in the process of writing, which doesn't necessarily have to do with the soul of the Great Awakening, but I mean, ultimately, everything's tied together, right? So if you're hopping on late, go back to this recording and you can listen to it from the beginning. I really appreciate all of you. I know there's people who aren't on live with me tonight, but I have so much love and support out there from so many people, and I love and support each and every one of you. But let's all focus on living our truth, making that soul connection, and creating the world that we really want to live in together. We are in this together. Let's be some of the first to create the division and focus on the unity. So I'm sending you guys infinite love. I'm putting out the intentions that what we create is the highest timeline, with the highest potential for each and every one of us. So hold on. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but we're going to wade these stormy waters together. But please, let's keep unity at the forefront, and let's start making that inner connection. Okay, honestly, turn it all off. Turn it all off. How would your day look like if you woke up and you chose to believe what you want to believe? Okay, we're going to change it from the inside out. So again, thank you all for who did hop on Love, live, very short notice with me tonight. I really, really appreciate it. And again, I'm going to be formatting things moving forward so that we can tune in together more often and in more ways. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you all again soon.